This week, I was personally rescued from falling to my death by Kalic ghosts. So, yeah, I guess you could say things are getting pretty serious. Pretty serious.
Trolls! Balls! They're everywhere!
Thrall's Balls. The World of Warcraft podcast with a dirty mind and a clean behind. Hosted by Bentolas, Gershom, and Wooly. Ooh, what's up, swingers? From the TBHQ in the grizzly lands of Wisconsin, welcome to Thrall's Balls, episode 91. I'm Wooly, the sneaky, prowly, feral druid, and here with me are Gershom, the sassy-ass hunter, and Bentolas, are you ready for this? The raw-mogging, furry death knight. How's that sound? Hi, guys. Did that one work for you?
I didn't want to hear all of those words together when you talked about
Bentolas
like that all. And also, I guess I'm just feeling pervy today. I feel like your cold open made you sound like that chick in college who gets caught out in the rain outside of the bar, and somehow her professor manages to see her, and then he gives her a ride home, and then all of a sudden she's making him her emergency contact and shit, even though they didn't fuck because he was her professor, but oh no, you're my boyfriend now. I don't know. That's kind of creepy.
I thought you were gonna take that a different direction, and I was fully prepared to be like, do you want that A or not?
No, I wasn't gonna go that way. What with all the Light and Blizzard promotions being based on quid pro quo is a big word in woke culture right now, so I don't want to say that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I may have taken
I don't want to
this.
I was trying not to get us canceled. It flitted across the surface of my brain for half a second, and then I'm like, that's no, you're gonna get canceled if you say that.
I may have taken that in icky direction for a second there. My bad. Anyway, on today's show, holy hell do we have some new information to talk about. 10.1's out, Embers and Neltharion, we went into the raid, but there's also 10.1.5 stuff. What? There's also some Cataclysm trivia, and we're going to learn what's in the mixed drink of the week, the Greater Health Potion. Send me off, guys.
Mana.
Oh, yeah,
Mana.
Greater Mana Potion. I wrote it wrong in the notes. Send me off, I'll take a drink, and we'll guess what's in it later.
Okay, over the lips, through the gums. You finish up, Bent.
Look out, asshole.
Speaking of look out, asshole, you better look out for me, asshole, because I'm coming to Austin in 9 weeks.
We are ready for you.
Yeah,
we have the guests
on, bro. I can't even wait to meet Mrs. Bent so bad, and your fucking dog. I'm so excited. I'm gonna buy my train ticket, and then just everything else, I'm just gonna fly by the seat of my pants, because you guys know off pod what's going on with me personally, and my budget's gonna get a lot tight. My budget's gonna get a lot tighter. That's all I'm gonna say. So I'm still gonna try and save for this trip though. But yeah, it's gonna be rad.
I can feel my mana being restored, I'll tell you that.
I was gonna ask how's the drink?
And by mana, I mean drunkenness levels.
Technically, you'd be refilling your energy levels because you're a feral druid now.
Yeah, that's true. Although the mana potion doesn't actually do shit for a feral druid. It gives you mana because druids can use mana, but when you're in cat form, that doesn't get you shit. If you're in your humanoid form, for me it's a night elf, it will restore mana, but at what cost? At what cost?
So I don't understand why I'm the only class in the game that doesn't have an instant. Why can't I get a focus potion? Why is all I get fucking Aspect of the Wild, which has a 2-minute cooldown? So you basically pop that on boss fights and that's it.
Well, I mean, I don't get.
Can there be an instant refill your focus and it has a 5-minute cooldown like every other potion? I don't understand why they can't have one.
We don't have
I'm stupid.
We don't have a potion that refills energy, or I would be using the shit out of that.
That's what the Thistletea is for rogues, right? But why can't they make something like that for hunters? A shot of espresso or something. Get my focus back, bro.
I don't know.
Because on long fights, your numbers go in the toilet because you're out of focus. A really, really long boss fight. Say it's a 5-minute fight. You're running out of focus the whole time, and then you're popping Aspect of the Wild every 2 minutes, which helps give you another really good round of spells, but like your numbers end up going in the toilet. I don't know, mine probably not immune. Probably not immune. He's totally fine. He's gonna listen. He's gonna like rage. I was gonna say he's gonna rage message me, but he's not gonna, because I'm going to lunch with him and Adorno tomorrow for Mother's Day, so he can just serve me. He can serve me in person. Like, you're stupid. Oh, he won't have heard it yet though. Oh, good. So I had lunch with Immune yesterday, if you're listening on Monday, and he may or may not have served me about being a hunter.
So what I was going to say is they need to give hunters cocaine, because that'll help you focus for a little bit.
That's real. Like, really, I said espresso. It's like, espresso is like, the 41-year-old Midwestern mom cocaine. I feel like it's mine anyways. I don't know. Works for me.
Also, shit, what else was I going to say? Doesn't really matter, I suppose. What did we do this week, you guys? I can start, cause I'm cool like that. I took my kitty cat ass into raid with Collected Company, same as Bent. I'll let him.
One finger. Yeah, let's go. I'm putting my finger up. Cheerleader. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I'll let him say how far we got. Because I truthfully don't know what the benchmark is, if we could have done better or if we did just fine. I'm not really sure. I gotta say, it could be because more than half the raid is highly geared, but it felt a little too easy. Like, I was even seeing my name show up on the meters here and there. Like, of course, not on single target, because I'm a feral druid, and why the fuck would single target be good for feral druid? Come on. But once we got to Redacted fight, where there's a lot more AoE, I go, and people are like, no. And then I showed up a little bit. But like, that's at like 403 item level, and everyone else is somewhere around 410, 415. Not everyone else, a lot of others. But that was a lot of fun. As I said in the cold open, Kalik Ghost rescued me from falling to my death, and I instantly got an erection. And then we went to Loam, and I did stuff, and I followed some quest lines. And I gotta say, not a big fan of the Winding Slither Drake. Mainly because when I got on the thing, at first I'm like, this is cool. And I got on it, started flying. I'm like, this is like a fucking bumblebee wings.
It's agile and different. Like, I missed my landing point. I was going to mention it too, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I'm just going to go ahead and throw my hat in this ring right now and say that, like, I put that shit in my backpack and I was like, no, not a big fan. The color is pretty cool, and I thought it was going to look right, but it's just a little more aggressive. Like, I like the drakes. They do soar, and maybe I've just gotten used to, like, taking those wide turns and the way they plop down and everything, but that Slither Drake was like jumping on like a bucking bronco for a second. I missed where I was supposed to land. I couldn't even, like, it was so weird. It was so it was wiggly and like bucky, right? Is that how you felt, or was it something different?
It was the wings for me that ruined it. Everything else was fine. The wings felt stubby. It felt like you had taped a couple Doritos to the back of a snake and said they were wings.
What did you think, Bentolas, just to be curious?
About the what? I don't remember.
The mount that you got. The mount that you.
The Slither Drake.
Oh, I don't even know. The mounts don't. I don't really care about the mounts, so I never really pay attention or look up what they are.
Yeah, for him, it's all about the stuff behind the instance portals or the summons, which I was very nearly late to raid because of. I don't remember why. Oh, I was taking a nap. But then I got a nice summon. It was great. It's nice having a fucking warlock.
Yeah, they're so convenient.
That's actually basically what I've been up to. I've been, trying to get on and play more. It's getting more and more difficult. I imagine after my wedding, I'll have a lot more time to do shit. But until then, I guess I'm just going to be struggling to find time. All right, someone else's turn.
You can go ahead, Gershom.
Okay, so I finished my campaign down there. So this is basically like my casual bullshit. I'm just thinking, I'm having like a lot more thoughts. So first of all, that shit down in Loam and everything that's going on down there is like playing through a novella. It's like playing through a telenovela, dude. Like, it's so dramatic. You got Sibelian and Rathian. And by the way, I have to issue a personal apology to Rathian. Daddy, I am so sorry. Sibelian is doo-doo. I made a mistake. Can I please come home? Please, Rathian, let me know.
I don't want to interrupt you
on Twitter. hey, hopefully Rathian will visit my Twitter and see that my heading still says Rachel/Gershom is truly best friends with Rathian or something like that. So I'm gonna leave that up. Rathian, hit me up on Twitter. Please tell me if I can come home, because I was wrong about Sibelian. He's doo-doo. He's a brilliant strategist, but he's not you, Daddy. So
I have some shit to say about Sibelian after you're done. Remind me of that.
Okay, I will. And then what else? Oh, my little mouse man, Mirrit, he got ghosted on by his girlfriend. Did you guys see that shit?
Nope,
that
didn't
was so
do it.
Sad. Oh my God, spy quest.
You think they're involved? I got very much best friend vibe.
No, I just said girlfriend. No, I don't think they were involved. I actually don't. I was best friend. But that sometimes hurts even worse than get ghosted by your bestie from like when your buddy, he calls their buddies, they're digging buddies. This is so sad to me.
They figured it out. They just like had...
is there like a continuation of that?
Yeah,
some other level of renown or something? Because the part I'm at is like the dude walks away and he's like, well, I'll hit you up, Gershom, but I just need some time. And I'm like, dude, don't go like touch grass. Like, I felt so bad. I was like, and then he fades out. I'm like, oh no.
It's not tied to renown. Once you advance the story, you'll get a follow. And it resolves pretty good.
Oh, thank God. This is where it sucks to be behind. I do not mind you spoiling that at all. Oh yeah, what else? I didn't like the Slither Drake. Yeah, just blah blah blah. Oh, dude. Also, have like a... I'm not gonna say I have a heart on for any other dragons, because then Rathian's gonna get mad. But Emberthal, that's my girl, and Rathian knows I'm bi. So I don't know. I like her a lot. I'm liking Emberthal a lot. I always liked her. I really did. Like, I've always been an Emberthal stan, but I really like her right now. I wish she could be the fucking aspect. Fuck all these doo-doo brothers fighting in Abyssian, and I don't know, man. I think it's time for a woman to be in charge.
I was listening to Do Not Relent. It's for anybody who may not know, because I believe it or not, there are a couple of you out there who don't. That is a fantastic show that we are friends with. They were actually arguing for Emberthal to be made aspect of the Black Dragon flight, but the thing is, she'd have to...
I like jumped up at work and did like fist pumps real fast. I was like, yeah,
she would have to join the Black Dragon flight first. And she's not technically a dragon.
Not like hopefully it's not like if you try and become Jewish and like, oh, you have to have Jewish in your blood. Like, she has Black Dragon in her, right? She has black scales.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So, okay, good. So it's not
I love the thought that they put out there where it's like you see all the big ass dragon aspects sitting there, and then she's just like over there tiny.
Yeah, right? Like, if she's anything,
I don't want to steal their content.
She's a little bit bigger than me, and I come up to like Alex Straza's toenail. So there was a really popular drawing. Like, if you Google it, you could still find this thing, although now it's sort of irrelevant because the way we're playing the game presents the scale. But a long time ago, there was this popular drawing where it said like a Warcraft character next to Deathwing. I think this came out during Cataclysm. Like, how big is he? Because people were like, how fucking big is this guy? And the drawing was literally the little man. It was like a human in the scale. So like an average, maybe like 6 foot tall human man was like kind of on his toenail. So yeah, they're big as hell. I don't know if Emberthal will be down there. Like, they'd have to give her some sort of gift of like transformation. There'd have to be some like quest where you like grant her the gift of like shape shifting or something. I don't know. She could like pretend to be a dragon or like a hologram. I don't know.
Now, putting that into further perspective, we've seen, jumping ahead too much here, but we've seen a picture now of Iridikron standing next to just Galakron's head, and it mirrors that image. So like us next to Galakron's head, holy fuck, that would be enormous. You know, as long as we're on this, I don't want to take over your shit here, but as long as we're on this whole Black Dragon flight aspect thing, I gotta say, the more and more I watch, the more and more I want an Abyssian as aspect scenario. Yeah, he doesn't want it. I get that. He doesn't want to do it. But if anything, I think that makes him best suited for it, because it means he's not lusting after power like his brothers are. Especially fucking Sibelian, who outright was like, you're all fodder to me. That sounds exactly like the kind of Deathwing bullshit.
That was complete bullshit. Yeah, that was totally like on some dark whispers.
Yeah,
I 1000% agree with you on that. Like, he's
showing
hearing
your balls
some
on stream, Seti.
I don't even think that he would say that, because like in 10.0, when we were grinding rep for him over there in the Obsidian Citadel or whatever in the Waking Shores, like, he didn't talk like that about Rathian. He was like, you can help me or you can help him. Either way is going to help the Black Dragonfly, but I think I'm going to do a better job. He was pretty much neutral with Rathian at that point. Like, what the fuck happened when we got to Zeralite Caverns?
Being closer to the
yeah, they
Shadowflame
rode in the
did that.
wagons, but there's some whispers going on. It's messing with his head. It's already.
I mean,
he looks meaner too in the cinematics. You notice he looks meaner. Like,
yeah,
he's
did.
always angry, and like his fangs are coming out of his mouth more, like that wicked smile. I don't like where his Sibelian's going at all. I'm calling it right now.
I honestly think if Sibelian wasn't previously corrupted, which I still think there's a chance he could have been, and he was hiding it, honestly, how I think this is going to shake out is he's eventually going to get sick of Rathian, and they're going to end up having an actual fight, and he's either going to give into corruption or been like, haha, twirl my mustache, I was corrupted this whole time, haha, and Rathian's like, oh, you bitch, and then they get in a fight, and then Rathian's forced to kill Sibelian, and Sibelian's like, no, who could have ever thought being evil would work out bad for me? And then Rathian's like, Abyssian, you were right the whole time, you should be Aspect. And then Abyssian will be like, I don't want to be Aspect, you little shit, what about Emberthal? And Emberthal will be like, bitch, I'm not even a dragon, besides I gotta worry about the Draxir. And then they'll both be like, fair point, and Abyssian will be like, well, if no one else would do it, someone's gotta do it. So then he does it, and then Rathian goes off and, you know, has gay butt sex with Anduin when he comes back from the Shadowlands.
That is definitely how it's all gonna shake out. That is master. You need to go on Torn and the Goblin. Hey, my boy Nick Z, hit it up.
We can have
Woolie's ready.
We can have Rathian take Anduin's butt-ginity.
That was almost as epic as your incel rage fucking manifesto on Illidan that time on the Do Not Relent.
No, I am still firmly in that camp about Illidan. I don't remember the camp, but I forgot what I was saying. Ben, what did you do this week? Or Gershom, did you have more to say?
No, actually, I was done.
Cool. So, Bentolas, what's going on, bro?
Yeah, so basically we did the raid, we got to Nefarious, and I think we got like 38% on our best pull, so we'll probably most likely kill it next week. Other than that, I've done there's a godly amount of keys on my characters, and basically I'm just working on getting all my army of alts, get at least a key done on each of them.
Yeah, man, I have not even gone into a key, because every time I've tried, I was like, well, I should probably start with a dungeon I know, so I figured I'd start with Neltharian's Lair, and then that is overtuned as fuck, so I found that out before going in.
Yeah, that place sucks. Well, they've actually been pretty good about nerfing them really quick, so
yeah?
I think once people get the dungeons down, I think, I've been really enjoying it. The dungeons, I think, the ones everyone complained about, I think they did a decent job tuning. Brackenhide and what's the other one? Brackenhide and Halls of Infusion. They did a good job with those ones. I think they're not as bad as people thought they were gonna be. So a couple more tune-ups to some of the bosses, and then next week is Fortified, so we'll probably see some trash nerfs, and I think the dungeon should be in a decent place by then.
Cool. Yeah, now how about that race to world first? I know I'm going to ask you about that later, but have you been keeping tabs? You been watching?
Yeah, how much do you want me to go into this?
I guess just at this
Want
point.
this to be more like opinion, and then the next section when I talk about it be more like factual?
Sure, why not?
Alright, it's good. I actually like it. Like, I don't know if you've been paying attention, but Method
Haven't been
is
able
good.
to, no.
Oh, Methods is so close to killing the 7th boss, so we might have 3 bosses progging the second to last boss at the same time.
Dude,
So it'll be really cool.
be kind of nice to see 3 guilds in the vying for that rather than just fucking Liquid and Method again. Or Echo, rather.
Yeah, I think Method's gonna fall off,
great.
though. If you've been watching their polls, they've been very, you could, like, the DPS and the healing, while it's still, like, really fucking good, is just, like, it's, like, still, like, a hair below what Liquid and Method are doing, or
Yeah, I
what
gotcha.
Liquid and Echo are doing. And I feel like in the last couple bosses, when things need to be, like, almost perfect, like, you have to play, like, perfectly, I think that's when you're gonna see Method fall back a little bit. But still, it's very impressive for them to keep it this close.
Is there a way to bait where the walls Neltharion throws up goes? Because I know that was giving us a little trouble, and we were not stacking on you when we should have been, and it was annoying.
No, it's pretty. I know on normal heroic, the wall layout, it's pretty much the same. But there's really no optimal strat like there is in
I guess.
Mythic. It's I mean, there is for heroic, but you really don't need it. You just need to kind of. It's just really managing the wall dots. That's all.
I think one of the biggest issues we're going to run into that is when he throws all the big circle of fiery diarrhea on the ground. That we kept, half of us went one way, the other half went another way, and then we were trapped.
So you were trapped by fiery diarrhea.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
and that
These things happen.
that,
I'm just saying, shit happens.
that shit, what was his name? Gunnar, who got stuck shoveling up poop. You know, he's on hand with a mop. I'm just kidding. He's not just a poop shoveler. He broke that chain. Anyway, I guess now's as good a time as any to move on to the WoW news, huh? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Time for WoW News. Motherfuckers.
It's the WoW news. And quite honestly, the biggest thing we could possibly be talking about right now is before we even have Sarkareth dead and cold on the ground, in Mythic anyway, Blizzard has unveiled the next patch, 10.1.5 Fractures of Time, which, think about this for a second, we have come full circle from, in terms of 0.1.5 patches, from when they made the Mage Tower into Time Walking. That doesn't feel that long ago, but it is. Holy shit. So, it's the next mini patch, I guess you could say, slated for the summer. Real quick on the surface, we're getting Warlocks for all races. There is a new Evoker Spec confirmed, and Dawn of the Infinite's Mega Dungeon. So let's break this down just a little bit.
Hold on, wait. I'm sorry. You said it wrong.
I did?
Mega Dungeon!
Oh, I don't want to. I don't want to gargle gravel to do that. That hurts.
Oh, and I said my throat hurt, but you know what?
How's that?
Oh, no, a shout out to Allie is worth any minor throat pain that I just experienced.
Minor throat pain. There's a joke about
shout out
oral
to
in there
Allie.
somewhere. Yeah, hell yeah. Shout out to Allie. I'll be honest, I'm a little behind on Allie's shows right now.
Oh, me too. God, they're so fun to listen to, but they're so intense too. I get like one at work, but yeah, I can't listen to them a lot in a row because it's like a lot of information.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to hang out with you more, Allie, but it's a lot to absorb right now.
The majority of when I consume podcasts is on my commute to and from work. And if a new position that opened up that I applied for, if that works out, my commute's even going to get shorter. So we'll see what I do. However, so we've got that Mega Dungeon, the Warlocks, Evoker Spec, and even some data mine stuff, which we normally don't talk about, but we're going to. Dragonriding in the old world. What the hell? So breaking this down for a second here. Warlocks for all the races, that's coming with pet customizations as well. I don't know if that's going to be more than just the imps, but so far, all we know about is the imps. Because there is, as Blizzard said, there is a quest line that unlocks a customization for the imp, which I'm thinking you just have different colors of imps. You don't get to, like, say this one's face is like this, their ears look like this. It's like a lower level of customization, but I'm okay with that because who looks at the imp?
Like, there's some different like creature types. Like, I don't know why we're overly shouting out DNR today. It's just happening. But they said something that I couldn't like find. I didn't have time to look up the blue post about. But like, he looks like a little hairy, like a little gremlin or something. Like, I don't know.
Still
I'm
an
gonna have to look
imp.
that up. I don't know. I think
like
you
a
can
higher
pick like
res.
different type, yeah, like higher res, maybe like different body types. I don't think you can like pick if it has like chew marks on its ear though.
Right.
Like you're a Worgen, you know, yeah.
It does have different colors though, which in the I think that may have been something that was data mined, that they found a couple models, but there was like a fell yellow green thing, like a purple one, and I'm all on board with that. You know, I don't play a Warlock anymore, but shit, they've been having the same little scaly, well, not scaly, but weenie little motherfucker running around. What I wonder,
think it'd be
though,
cool if they do the colors too, because like I hate when I have like a raging red mog, but like I'm using my blueberry because I'm soloing, and I'm like,
Right.
you're all blue, like you don't match me at all. Be like red or something. That's not that big of a deal.
like, I always wanted to match my Mog to my mount. I still do.
I always do that. And my pets, my hunter pets too. I don't go out like without being fully dressed, bro.
Hell yeah. I love going out undressed, but, you know, not now. Okay, so what I wonder, though, is will this affect the pets' names? And the only reason I think that, like, for example, if my imp, just normal imp, is named Abael, that's one of my Warlocks imps. Because I don't remember my raiding Warlock. I don't remember his regular imp's name. But then you use the glyph of Fell Imp, it changes it. Like, it replaces it with a beefier imp with a new name. So my raiding Warlock, he had that glyph, and his Fell Imp, his name was changed to Nipple, Niple, which is hilarious. But I wonder, will pet customizations change that? Will you be able to pick what two sounds are thrown together to make your imp's name? I don't know. And I know the conversation here is about imps, but I'm positive this is for a lot more of...
I thought we were talking about big beefy nipples, and then I thought you were going to start talking about the jailer, and I'm like, please, let's not talk about the jailer.
No, he can go jerk off in the corner. But it just occurred to me then, like, so if you're running around with a Void Lord and you're changing its color, could you have, like, a red Void Lord? I don't know. Exactly. And like, oh damn, this open, and with Warlocks coming to all races, if you're able to turn your Void Lord red, you could even make an art, like in your headcanon, your Night Elf Warlock could have previously been a druid who got sick of shit and decided his Void Lord is from the Emerald Nightmare. Bro, there's a lot to be done there.
They should give us an Erebor skin for the Draenei too.
They should. I'm wondering how the hell that's going to work out. Warlocks for all the races. There isn't a single race in the game that should hate Warlocks more than Draenei, other than Lightforged Draenei. So how are they gonna?
You stole it right out of my mouth. Dude.
How are they gonna reconcile that? I want to know. Should be.
It's not just a level of like getting used to shit. Like, oh, like you said, like a druid got turned and decided, oh no, I fuck all this, I'm corrupted or whatever. Like, the Lightforged Draenei would be breaking, like, that'd be like getting a US Marine to join the Taliban. You know what I mean?
God.
Like, this, not
You're
only
right.
are you like against it to begin with, but you've been fully trained for your entire life to go kill that thing. Like, what is happening here? I have always been a proponent of everyone can be everything, but I cannot scoop a lore on this yet. I don't know. Y'all need to hit me up on the socials and see like what you would think, because I don't know what the hell, how you would do this.
There is an angle I can see in that the in my head, whenever I played a warlock, I don't think all warlocks are necessarily evil. I see it as some warlocks do that because they are asserting control over that evil and being like, fuck you, you're not the boss of me. I'm going to force you to do good things instead. So there's maybe something that, like, a Draenei could be like, well, I was walking around Argus a couple of years ago and I saw this guy with a demon and I was like, well, that's just fine. I can make him do good stuff. You know?
Like if you use your demons to kill better demons, which is pretty much what you do when you're playing a warlock anyway. So you just leave the like kind of nefarious agenda out of it, and then I guess
nefarious agenda. I love that. Yeah. I mean, think about it. That's why warlocks have become acceptable within the Alliance and the Horde, is because it's in the service of doing good things. Even, you know,
I guess at its base it is, because I know, like, I mean, in the books and stuff, like in the game a little, like you go through some stuff when you like roll a warlock, at least like in Classic you did, like, because if you rolled like an orc warlock back then, it was like they looked at you funny, believe me, like they were like, are you sure? And it was always like, oh no, I'm a noble, it's a noble cause, I promise, sort of baseline. So yeah, but
then they made you go under Orgrimmar anyway, like, hey, just go down there, we'll pretend you're not doing shit.
Totally.
So another thing that's coming in 8.1.5, and people sort of, they did the old switcheroo on us, Blizzard did. They told us there was going to be no third Evoker spec. Well, no, they said anything is possible. We don't know, maybe. But there's going to be that third Evoker spec. It is the Augmentation Evoker. And this is more about empowering your allies than doing your own damage. Now, you are still doing damage, but that's not your primary function. It's a whole new paradigm in the game. Your primary function is to deal damage while making everybody else be like super duper damagey. So they did clarify that there were going to be metrics that can be used by these third-party add-ons so you can accurately track your performance. So this is kind of uncharted territory for World of Warcraft. We're going to be able to see how that shakes out, and I wonder, excuse me, this playstyle, this supposed ZDPS, if we're going to be seeing that added to other classes, or are they going to maybe retool some specs? I can see a lot of DPS players being really pissed off. Like, it would make sense to me to turn Balanced Druid into a ZDPS, but I can see a lot of Balanced Druids being extremely pissed off about this. Shout out to Ivy, who, by the way, is chopping our fucking DPS charts the other night. Holy hell. I don't know. It would piss a lot of people off. So what do you think would be the best way to do that? If they added it to other classes, would they add another spec? Because that's a lot of work. I don't fucking know.
It's a lot of work, and it's almost like culturally significant because we're so used to, like, for the most part, having 3 specs to choose from, right? It'd just be like, I think for a while I'd be mind blown, and I'm not sure if I would really. Sorry, the girl brought me a bottle of water. The girl, my oldest daughter.
Tell her thank you. She is good. She is a good I did.
Child. That's why I cut out for a second, because I unpushed to talk just specifically to tell her thank you, because I didn't want her to feel bad.
Good child.
She's a good girl. But yeah, I think it would be like culturally significant, and then after that, it'd be a lot of work, and I'm not. Given those 2 things, I'm not sure that it's something they're going to do. I think would be my bottom line on that.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't really even have to get too specific, because then you start thinking about it and you're kind of like, oh, hunter, like, what would be an augmentation hunter? Like, I don't know. Like, I couldn't even, I don't know. I feel like I couldn't tell you. Like, yeah, like, yeah,
truth be told, I think
you can cut all that stupid out, but I literally don't even know how they would do it.
Truth be told, I think the best way to go about doing that, if they were to add this to other classes, is just give some classes a 4th spec Maybe give Demon Hunter like some kind of sigil based spec that can do that. And then I guess at that point, don't add one to Druid, because God knows we have enough shit going on already. And then Druid would be the only class in the game. Well, no, Druid would no longer be the only class in the game. I don't know how I'm wording this. I've had too much of this drink. They then wouldn't be able to fill every role by just being a Druid. There we go. I don't know. We're going to see what happens.
And that's another thing, like mechanically wise, and like Bent, you could probably speak on this, but what I wanted to think was like, you would have like a whole other way of like running mechanics in the game. I just think honestly, that's another thing that would make it so much work. Like Bentolas, what do you think though, if they like all of a sudden everybody had this other class to play in your fucking raid? Like, I don't know. How do you feel like as a raid leader, I guess?
I think it's going to be a guinea pig experiment. If they can't get it right, I could see them just scrapping it. But if they do get it right, I could see it like introducing bards. I'm not sure if every class really needs to get one, and I think the idea of a support class will be fine in a raid setting. I feel like with Mythic Plus, because there's only 5 people allowed, they're either going to be so disgustingly broken that you pretty much need to have one for every Mythic Plus group, or it's going to be so bad that nobody would ever bring one. It's just because like I don't see a way where how you can balance the damage they do, because the way I see it, with the enhancements they have, they make other people do much larger things, like whether it be better healing, tanking, or damage, right? Like you can't make that DPS like do a lot of DPS too, or it just turns broken, right? So I think they're gonna land in a spot where like they do a little bit more damage than like a regular healer does, but they don't do as much DPS unless the DPS is bad as like the worst DPS. And then they get stuck in a spot, and then you have to figure out, well, is the buffs they give the group worth the lack of DPS from the character itself?
I just hope that they don't run into like a very classic, very 2006 Druid problem, where the joke was they were good at everything but not great at anything. I know that's changed over the years, but that was the philosophy like when Druids first came out. And I'm like, the way they're talking about this class, it just kind of makes me feel like that might be like like on the struggle bus for a while. I'm sure they'll figure it out, but like I think you said, like they're either going to be overly broken or totally shitty, and then they're going to have to like meet in the middle, you know?
What they need to do if they want to make this really work is look to other MMOs that have a ZDPS like this and look at how they balance all that versus like roles within raids and stuff. Now, that's not going to be a one-to-one trade, because, you know, things are going to be so different between WoW and, say, Final Fantasy. But it's a good starting point to take some data from. Now, the other issue I see coming from this is positioning your raid, because it's your 4 nearest allies. I think it would be better if the Evoker could pick which allies rather than making it proximity based, because then you're gonna have Dinkeldorf, the gnome rogue, gnome warlock or some shit, standing too close to the Evoker so that the guy that the raid wants to have the healer that the raid wants to have that pumping doesn't get it. It's a new way for people to fuck your raid up if you're not careful. I don't know. I feel like there's a different way to handle it rather than proximity, but that might just be one spell. I'm not sure exactly. I didn't look too deep at the spell list. All I know is this is interesting. I'm glad to see them thinking outside the box a little bit, even though outside of that box is a larger box that other games are in. We'll see what happens. Moving on, mentioned the Dawn of the Infinite's Mega Dungeon. There, I did it. That has...
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hell yeah.
That was beautiful.
And this is all about the Infinite Dragons and their nefarious agenda. Blah. And, you know, there's bronze dragons in there too. We've got Evil Chromie. One of the press images is just basically Chromie and Evil Chromie staring at each other. So, like, I don't know. They're probably pretty mad at each other. One of them, we're going to see Galakron, but basically just his head. So Galakron's not going to be a boss. Iridikron's in there. Basically, what is he up to? Which I'm pretty sure they've confirmed is he's trying to pull Galakron through the time ways into our world. So I think that may be what this dungeon is all about. The name of it, though, Dawn of the Infinites, kind of implies to me that in order to prevent such an unbelievably terrible thing from happening, I think Nozdormu in here is going to finally have to meet his fate, and he's going to mirror Neltharion's decision to give into the void in order to harness that greater power to cause this to not happen. I hope we don't kill Iridikron. I'll say that, because they have been really building these primalists up, the Incarnate specifically.
That's my Who's band. He's my new Who's band.
Hell yeah.
That's my expansion crush for now.
Right. Like they can't do all this build up just to have us kill him in a dungeon. So I think this is going to be where Nozdormu dies to us and becomes Murozond. And we'll see where it goes from there. I don't know. That's just my thoughts about that dungeon. Bent, you're probably thinking about it in terms of route and wondering where it's going to split when they put it into 2 dungeons and all that. I don't know. What do you guys think of this? We got Evil Chromie.
What is? I have something to say about Evil Chromie, but I do want to hear about Ben's more like strategic.
I'm excited, dude. They usually do a really good job. I love Tazavesh. I thought they did a great job with it when they tuned it right. And
Tazavesh was fun. Tazavesh was fun.
And the way they split it up made sense.
Even doing looking for group on that was pretty fun.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. Mechagon was cool, so I'm looking forward to it. I think they usually do a good job with the mega dungeons. It'd be cool with the bosses if I hope they take like a more, because it looks like we're fighting some like Gerwin's head or whatever the fuck it is. I hope they do more of a kind of like going through history or unraveling the time waves and shit, and we get to see some like people from WoW's past. Not all the bosses, right? Like obviously you want some new ones, but it'd be cool like if we had to go like, I don't know, kill some like something from the past to save it or whatever.
Aren't there some past bosses in there? I didn't look at the adventure journal yet, but I feel like there's some weird like other bosses from places.
So before
Tyr is in there.
Before we started, I'm sorry, I keep interrupting. My bad.
No, I'm just because I didn't really like look at the dungeon. I've just been like flitting around between blue posts and stuff when I can, but there's isn't there like a version of Tyr in there that has like a repaired Oathkeeper and stuff like that, right? So
here is, before we started recording, but after I made the notes, Wowhead gave us an article that has all the Dawn of the Infinite boss names in it, and I don't necessarily believe this is in order. But so we have Chronikar, don't know who that is. Manifested Time Ways, that's probably those models we saw that basically look like opulence, but like coins and sand and shit. Blight of Galakron. No, that isn't Galakron himself. That's Blight of Galakron. So I think that's might be what they meant by the fallout from his demise. So maybe there's some ooze that comes out of him. Iridikron is listed as a boss.
He choked to death on a giant rock. It's probably like Galakron's vomit. It's gonna be fucking gross. Sorry to interrupt.
Now, Iridikron is on here as a boss name. Iridikron the Stone Scaled. And I knew that before starting to record. But what I'm hoping is that we don't kill him. That, like, we wound him and he fucks off. Because it would be a huge letdown to have him be built up that big just to be taken out in a side dungeon like this. Even if it is a mega dungeon.
Dragonflight has made a pattern of getting you attached to a character and killing them off, though. Have you noticed that? Like in the quest? Yeah, I don't know. I hope not. That would be terrible.
Then we have Tyr, the Infinite Keeper, basically an Infinite Dragonflight version of Tyr, who isn't a dragon, so let's see what happens there. Morkji, so Colin Mockery is a boss. Time Lost Battlefield for the Alliance and Time Lost Battlefield for the Horde. looks here that the Alliance version fights Garrosh Hellscream, and the Horde fights Anduin Lothar. That's right, Anduin fucking Lothar. I feel like there should be a different person that the Alliance fights other than Garrosh. If you're gonna reach back into the past like that, make it Orgrim, right? Because, like, Orgrim killed Lothar, didn't he? I think so.
Yeah, he smashed his skull out in Black Rock,
Mountain,
where
yeah.
Uber,
Yeah.
where the statue is out there. It's all over there where you used to go into like Black Rock Mountain and stuff.
And then it says Chrono Lord Deus and the Infinite Dragonflight. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. Again, we'll see what happens, I suppose. I better add this article to the notes. 1 second here.
You know what I feel like while you're doing that, Willie? I'll just fill in the space. I feel like Evil Crony needs like I don't know. I feel like she looks like she wants to be like goth girl or something. I don't know. She needs to get adjusted a little bit. I feel like I could take her through her paces and get her a little more evil and a little less Chromie. I'll redact my statement that I would kill Chromie. I would actually fuck her just because I could do that. I could twist her a bit. I feel
Just
like
giving it to
All
a
right.
little
I'm
Chromita.
done. Yeah, it's gonna happen to her. Poor thing.
Well, here's the thing, though. We saw in that image that it's our Chromie staring down Colin Mockery like that. So I'm inclined to believe
Colin Mockery now.
I'm going to keep doing that. I am inclined to believe that this is an alternate Chromie, not our Chromie. So that's cool. I'm okay with that. All right. So that's what we have for all of that. One thing I'm just going to touch on because it could mean basically anything. There has been data mined strings related to old world dragon riding. There are a shit ton of dragon riding circuits that have been found in Kalimdor and Eastern Kingdoms for 10.1.5. And the part I'm more excited about, they have added dragon riding animations to a shit ton of old mounts, including awesome boys like the Infinite Time Reaver, the Onyxian Drake, fucking all the Nether Wing Drakes and stuff. And there is then also found a spell or two that's flight style static and flight style dynamic that sort of implies there's going to be a toggle that players will be able to choose between the old kind of style of flying and dragon riding. So I'm liking what I'm sounding here, and it kind of sounds like they're going to keep dragon riding around in the game beyond Dragonflight. If not to read too far into it, but that does kind of seem like it's heading in that direction.
Yeah, and you know what? Speaking of getting comfortable to dragonfly, and I meant to mention this when I was doing what I did in WoW or whatever, but I got a lot more into like going for the glyphs than I think I don't know if anyone remembers. I think like at the beginning of the expansion, I was frustrated with dragon flying. It was hard on my eyes, to be honest. It was a little weird, and I slowly got used to it, and I practiced a lot. And then every time I got to a new place, like I went to Loam and I was like, oh no, the ceilings are too low. And like, I just continue to like practice and practice and practice. And I started seeing like my little message pop up that would say like, oh, your Drake senses a nearby dragon glyph. And I was like, I'm not going to go after that. I just got more proactive about it, and I started looking around at the sky to like see where they were. And since I've been practicing my dragon riding and getting better, I've actually got like a lot more glyphs. Like I got like 6 today, and just trying to do it. So I'm think like what I'm gonna do after this, after we record, the girls are having a sleepover with their friends, so I will have a lot of playtime tonight. But I'm going to look up that map that I know is out there. And really, that's the thing I want to do. That's like a big goal for me right now, is to just go get my glyphs and get my vigor maxed out and everything. I'm still sitting here at 4 vigor, and I'm like, this can be done. I'm going to go fucking do it. So
do it. Honestly, like, so the glyphs in the cavern versus the glyphs in the Forbidden Reach. Forbidden Reach glyphs, I kind of had to seek out. The cavern, I keep finding them by accident. And I think I like it better that way.
Yeah, I think maybe the cavern might be a little easier because there's a ceiling. I don't know. I'm gonna find out though. I'm gonna find out. We'll see. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna get every single one of them. I know there's like achievements and stuff, but I gotta get my points. I gotta get my better spells and stuff, especially if they're gonna continue the system in some way.
Yeah.
I may as well have it maxed out, you know.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Bent, do you wanna weigh in on that and or tell us what's going on with Race to World First? Either way, do you think you can take up enough time for me to go pee quick?
Yeah.
I'll be back in a second.
I guess I could talk about the whole Race to World First. So it seems like what a lot of the top gears are doing are kind of boring for the first couple of days because all they do is just farm the raid over and over. It's cool to see it like the first time, just because you get to see like, oh, like I never thought to do the fight that way, but it gets a little boring and kind of takes away from the race a little bit. But now all the guilds seem like they're into Mythic. You know, you always get your meme guilds that try to get like the early bosses down first for Mythic, even though they have no shot of winning the race. It's a nice accomplishment to get. But yeah, it looks like all three guilds are the three big boys, Method, Echo, and Liquid, are all on the second to final boss. Echo's a Nefarious. Echo's actually doing pulls right now. They are like 40-ish pulls in.
Wait, you're a Liquid guy, right?
No, I hate Liquid.
Oh no,
I don't hate Liquid. I just think like
what
Max is
Slurpee
outdated.
always teasing you about?
Because he loves Max, their raid leader.
Oh, and who do you like?
I like Echo as a guild, and I think Scripe and Roger Brown are just better overall leaders. I like their approach better. I think they tend like Max has this like whole thing when like Echo passes him, like it's like a mental block on their team. And as a leader, I think it's your job to make sure you stay calm and relaxed and keep the mood going good. And he doesn't do that. I think he gets more flustered than his team, and it kind of trickles down into them, and they fail, and then he always has excuses. I just don't like him as a raid leader. I think Echo could win if they just replaced him with someone else. I think Liquid could win.
I got you and Grandma Slurp confused about whose teams you were on.
But it's definitely interesting. I'm assuming the last boss is gonna be really hard because a lot of the guilds went through this pretty fast, and it looks like the Nefarians are a couple pulls away from getting figured out. So, I don't know. I don't know if it'll go into a second week. Well, I'll have to see what the last boss looks like. But unfortunately, and I kind of like this, but Blizzard has been keeping the final bosses off the PTR, so it's nice. Like these guilds haven't been like in the PTR practicing. You know, it's new for them, and it's always like I like seeing how like they figure shit out and they do it so quickly.
Is it just me, or I know we've only been in normal, but it kind of feels like this raid is mechanically so much simpler than the last one. But the environment sucks. Running through this place is a pain in the ass, but
I wouldn't say it's simpler. I think the big advantage now is that we had pretty much everyone was like 30 eye levels away from when we were doing normal the first time through in the first raid. We were pretty much like 30 eye levels away from what the bosses were dropped, and I think this tier, like at the worst, people are 15 eye levels, usually less than that. And for the large part, most of our raid group is actually a higher eye level than what's been dropping. So, yeah, I think it's a combination of both. I think single target fights tend to be a little bit easier in execution, just because there's less mobs going on. So I think it helps people focus more like on doing mechanics versus the other raid, Vault of the Carnates, where not only was there like mechanic vomit.
Mechanic vomit.
Yeah, there was just also a lot more going on because it seemed like every fight had some sort of like ad component to it. So I don't know. We'll have to see what Sarkareth, I guess, looks like. I know that Blizzard like actually buffed the bosses because they were. I don't think they were very happy how quickly these guilds were going through it. But
do you know offhand? And I don't expect you to have other guilds' fucking comps memorized, but do you know offhand if any of these World First guilds are running a Feral Druid right now? Because there are a lot of single target fights in this raid, and Feral is not great at single target right now.
Yeah, I'm probably not. Just because there's nothing that a Feral Druid brings to raid that a Boomy can. Boomy's much better in single target. So Feral, yeah, you're not going to see a lot of Feral. I think you'll see Feral though still in the MDI keys just because they have uncapped AoE, they have healing, and they also are really good at funneling.
Hell yeah. Well, with all that being said, shall we move on to the mixed drink of the week and you guys can guess what's in this shit?
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Question. Buff.
That's the wrong bumper. It's time for the mixed drink of the week. Fuck yeah! It's the mixed drink of the week, and before we get fully into it, please only partake of the mixed drink of the week, or any alcohol for that matter, if you're of legal age or legal whatever to do so. Furthermore, we're not responsible for any dumb shit that may befall you as a result of your own dumb shit. So, we have been going through the various drinks or potions or whatever in WoW and turning them into alcoholic drinks IRL. We are within the last 10 of these, by the way, so getting to the wire here. And this week, I have the Greater Mana Potion. It felt like the natural complement to the last time I had it, where I took the Greater Health Potion. And I don't want to give you guys too much of a hint here, but I will say there are only 2 shots in this, in total, but I'm still pretty buzzed off of it. Don't think that actually will tell you much, but you guys want to guess what's in it?
Hell yeah.
I want Ben to go first.
Okay.
I'm not gonna steal your answer though, I promise.
Alright, so it's a mana potion, so I think it's gonna have a bluish color. So I'm gonna guess it's gonna have a shot of vodka, a shot of Jaeger, blue Gatorade, and just a little bit of regular Mountain Dew.
Okay. Gershom, what do you think?
Okay, sorry, I was blowing my nose. That was quick, Ben. You usually go into it a little more than that. So I was thinking, actually, so the base is all blue Mountain Dew, and then I went with Stoli blueberry vodka, which is really good, although specific, so I'm not likely to get that correct. And then a shot of tequila too, because I feel like when you regain your mana, you just get that kind of like, I guess it'd be like a version of raging out, and tequila always makes me feel like, kind of aggressive. So yeah, so Stoli blueberry vodka shot, tequila shot, and the rest blue Mountain Dew.
Okay, well, you were both actually fairly close with the bases. The alcohol's pretty much way off. It was originally going to be blue Gatorade, but when I was at the store, I saw blue Mountain Dew. So I'm like, I'm making it out of that instead.
Yes.
So you both did say Mountain Dew, but Bent, you said a little bit of normal Mountain Dew. Not close enough. So Gershom's closer, but here's what actually makes this drink up. It is a shot of blue curacao, which I'm sure both of you were considering guessing.
I almost said that entirely.
Yeah. And I wanted to bring something kind of out of nowhere. So I was like, well, how about a shot of honey whiskey, specifically Jack Daniel's Tennessee honey whiskey. And
Is
I was
that
like,
your absolute favorite booze?
it's my favorite of the whiskeys. If I'm not looking for just plain whiskey. Although I have used it in an awful lot of drinks on this show. So there's the blue curacao, a shot of Jack Daniel's Tennessee honey whiskey, and you fill that in with blue Mountain Dew. Now, so that it didn't get discolored, I did put a few drops of blue food coloring in, and I actually think I put too much blue food coloring in because it's a darker blue than I would have liked. I did get a picture of it, though, holding a flashlight up behind it, so I'll put that on the Instagram so you can see it a little better. All right, so you sent me off earlier, send me off again, and I'll take another swig. Please.
Over the lips, through the gums, look out, asshole.
Yeah.
Did it! Yeah. That's
Yeah,
why we started
pretty
sending
good.
Wooly off. I'm gonna make you do it so that you learn. So you learned. There you go.
He did it. All right, so to put it succinctly, 1 shot blue curacao, 1 shot honey whiskey. Fill in with blue Mountain Dew. Add blue food coloring if you so desire. That part's optional. That was the greater mana potion. It's pretty good, actually.
You seem like you're like slightly buzzed.
A little bit, yeah. I also don't drink very often, so that's a factor too. But I don't know. I would not have. It was a bit of a risk mixing honey whiskey with something slightly citrusy like the curacao, but I think it worked out. Next week, Bentolas, you are up, and I can't imagine you know. Oh, one important detail I forgot to mention. This is also optional, but I chose to drink it out of a boiling flask. That is one of those like circular orb-like flasks you'd find in a science class. So yeah, it looks like a magic potion. Ben, you probably don't know what you're doing next week, but if you do you?
Not yet. I'll figure it out though.
Yeah. That's kind of how this series has been. There's so many drinks out there to pick from.
We always figure it out.
Hell yeah. And we are closing in on a decision for our next drink series. Maybe we should talk about that a little bit after the show. But let's move on to head of the class. Head of the class and eater of ass. Anyway.
What is this?
Welcome to the Head of the Class, Eater of Ass. This is the section of the show where we ask 10 trivia questions, and we are vying to become the head of the class by winning that trivia contest. So the way this works, and the way we're doing it this week, is I will ask a question. This week it is Cataclysm-themed questions, and whichever of these two buzz in first get to give their answer first. If they answer correctly, they get the point. If they don't answer correctly, the other person gets to try to steal. If they are also wrong, nobody gets the point. If they score 60% or better, they are considered head of the class. If they both score 60% or better, it's whichever of them scores higher. If neither of them scores 60% or better, I am eating that booty. Y'all ready to start?
I hope Shay's ready to
Hell
start.
yeah.
I'm probably gonna lose. So
I lost
yes,
my
I'm
spot.
ready to
Shit.
start.
Hang on. I clicked on the new unread thing because I thought there was something important. It just took me to the Wowhead bot. And okay, so as I said, these are Cataclysm themed questions. So the first question: leveling in Cataclysm took place in 5 different zones. Name 3 of them. Bentolas.
Deep Home, Twilight Highlands, Doom, Vashir.
You already got the point. I only asked for 3 of them.
Okay. Okay.
And Mount Hyjal.
Okay.
That was the last one. Okay. Question 2. Cataclysm added a battleground and a mini raid onto the same island. What is the name of this island? And hint, it is also the name of the battleground. Bentolas.
Battle of Ganeas.
That is incorrect. Gershom, do you know?
Can I try and steal?
Yes, you can.
Was it the Battle of Darkshore?
No. So the battleground and the island have the same name, and that is Tol Barad.
Oh, Barad. I got the fucking mount. I've been on this podcast talking about this place. Fuck me. God damn it.
Now,
Fuck these animals. They make me stupid.
question 3 builds on this same island. So, what is the name of the raid you can find on Tol Barad? Gershom.
Tol Barad prison. It's a jail. Damn it, that's not the name of it.
You're thinking in the right direction, but that's not the name of it. Bent, are you able to steal?
Barad and Holt?
Actually, yeah.
that's
Barrett
what
and
it is,
Hold.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
As soon as someone else says it, I'm like, fuck, there it is. God damn it.
All right,
job,
so
homie.
we're... Good job,
My
man.
ass. Yeah, I'm out of the running already.
All right. Oh.
No, it's not. It's 2-1.
I'm too buzzed to think of...
Yeah, we have
Well,
3
there's
questions.
There's
and we're
7 questions left, so if I get all of them right, I still lose.
No, you need 60%.
Oh, it's 6.
Yeah, and I could get them wrong, so you're still
Yeah.
not out of it.
Yeah, that's...
These
yeah.
are hard. These are not hard questions. I'm just fucking high. All right, let's go.
Question number 4. In the Dragon Soul raid, which boss do you fight from the top of Wormrest Temple? Gershom.
Ultraxion?
It is Ultraxion.
Oh God, thank you, because I got his mount too, and I was like, oh, please don't say I did all that, and then I forget.
That mount is Experiment 12B, I believe, the chromatic Drake.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's chromatic. It's the, yeah, it's
I
pretty, I
we
don't
should
use
check
it a
to
lot,
see.
but it's pretty.
It's probably got dragon riding animations coming up.
It's already pretty shimmery.
So, coming up to episode question 5, the score stands at 2-1 in Ben's favor at the moment. Question 5, which 2 dragons, both having been raid bosses in the past, show up as undead dragons in Cataclysm?
Can you repeat that one more time?
Oh, ignore the ding. Which 2 dragons that were both raid bosses in the past, before Cataclysm, show up as undead dragons in Cataclysm? Bentolas.
Nefarious and Onyxia?
Yes.
Damn it, that's what I was gonna say, and I hit it too fast. God damn it, so slow.
That was in Blackwing Descent, I believe.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That's a very cool scene too, when he raises her up, and I was gonna say that scene is pretty like heart wrenching, and then the one we were talking about Ultraxion on the last question, when Deathwing like brings him up, and that's pretty like heart wrenching and very cool scene to see as well.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, like the pride and the just nefarious intentions of his experiments just get worse and worse, and that whole thing is just so crazy. It's good.
Okay.
It's gonna get better.
Side note, Nefarious was not half the scientist his dad was. What a little bitch. Am I right or am I right?
Well, we smashed the fuck out of all of his experiments in
Yeah.
his face. My only problem was that I always landed in the lava. It's really hard to like, hit the little platforms. And turtling doesn't help.
I've lost my spot. Oh, here we go. Question 6. Which raid came first? Blackwing Descent or Bastion of Twilight? Bentolas.
Bastion of Twilight.
That is incorrect. Gershom, can you steal?
Blackwing Descent.
That is also incorrect. They came at the same time. It was a trick question.
Oh, come on.
Cataclysm was trying to...
I did.
Cataclysm was trying to do this annoying thing that nobody liked, where instead of having one cool raid to focus on, they split shit up among 3 or 4 raids, and nobody liked it.
I didn't play Cataclysm current, so like the systems I just heard people talk about. But now that you mention it, I remember people talking about that system and hating it. Yeah.
Okay, so we are coming up to question 7. So that question is, in the Goblin starting zone, there were some mines. What rock or mineral or whatever it is called was being mined in there? Wait, hang on. Both of you let go of your talk buttons. I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, and then I'll need you guys to buzz in if you're ready. What rock or mineral was being mined in there? 3, 2, 1. Bentolas got it first.
Cadramite.
It was Cadramite. please wait until I finish asking to key in, because that's how I tell who was there first, and I'm not necessarily looking at that part of the screen before I finish the question. Okay. Question 8 scores 4-1. In the Worgen starting zone, at a certain point, the screen fades in from black, and you are standing in the stocks as a Worgen. What is the name of the town this takes place in? 3, 2, 1. So you don't. Okay. I kind of want you both to confirm that you don't know before I go ahead.
I cannot think of it.
Me neither.
Okay. It is. This sounds like it would be the name of a town in fucking Darkshire, but it's called Duskhaven apparently. Which I had to double check was not the name of the town in Darkshire. What is the name of the town in Darkshire?
Darkshire. No,
Duskwood.
it's Duskwood.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Question 9. This one should actually be pretty easy, as well as the next one. What raid can be accessed via the Mount Hyjal zone? Gershom.
Firelands?
Hell yeah.
Finally, Jesus. That's another one I farmed for mounts and bullshit.
Yeah, so you can tell by the time Firelands came around, they were like, all right, we're not doing this multiple raid bullshit thing. And people liked Firelands. All right.
I liked Firelands a lot.
Our final question. Which boss drops the Lifebinder's Handmaiden? Be very careful with how you give your answer. Gershom.
It's the heart of Alex Strasser.
No, which
Or is it
boss?
Alex Strasser?
That's not a boss.
Oh, Alex.
I'll let you take another swing at that.
Okay, it's Deathwing. No.
It's not specific enough. Bent, do you know?
I know where it drops from. It's after you kill Deathwing. I just don't know how you get it.
Okay, so you were close enough. I'll give you the point. But because I was asking you to be very specific, it's because there are 2 Deathwing fights in Dragon Soul. There's Spine of Deathwing and there's Madness of Deathwing. This drops from the Madness of Deathwing fight.
I can't ever get to it because I can't do the spine. I'll say it on pod. I'm showing my balls, y'all. I cannot do the spine to this day.
Well, to do the spine, you don't actually, for years and years, I thought you had to dance back and forth, but when you are a ranged class, you can actually just stand, after you kill the tentacle, you can just stand in one of the pools of ooey gooey orange shit, and it'll hold you in place when he spins around. But you have to make sure if another tentacle spawns in your ooey gooey orange shit, you have to kill the tentacle immediately.
Huh. May have to try that.
Yeah.
I haven't visited it in like several years, so.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess I'm eating that booty because you guys scored 4-3. That was all 10 questions. So, yay for me, I suppose.
Those were good questions.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, they were good. They were a good mix, like between being hard and easy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got a few.
Lost my spot again. God damn it. Okay. Final thoughts?
Super glad that you're eating the booty because that's not on my agenda tonight.
Your nefarious agenda?
Nope, not even close.
I guess my final thought is I picked a pretty bad raid to decide to go Feral Druid, but I don't regret it. Because it's a lot of single target, but that's fine. Ben, how about you?
I'm a furry Death Knight and I reside in Stormwind.
That doesn't make sense. How could you...
I set my little tent up over there and I can sneak into Goldshire at night.
Dude, I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know you could put your tent
I was
there.
gonna ask if you were on Tinder, but I guess I should just head over to the Goldshire Inn.
Yeah, just look
Doesn't
for little
that-
furry fox doing sucky sucky.
Doesn't that camp like disappear? Oh my god, furry fox, sucky, Jesus Christ. Doesn't that camp disappear over time though? Like if you log out and you try to return to camp, it's gone?
I don't think so.
Oh.
He obviously hasn't experimented enough. He hasn't hung out in Goldshire all that long.
You could be using that for a quick way to loam, but no. You gotta go do the furry Goldshire-ness. Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and get on out of here. You can go ahead and follow us in the places. I am at Wooly08 on Twitter and Instagram. Gershom is at Hunter Gershom, Gershom on Twitter, or at Hunter Gershom, Gerrshom on Instagram. Bent is at Bentolas _outlaw on Twitter and does not have Instagram, or at least I don't think so. The show is at ThrallsBallsPod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can leave us a review in the Spotify Q&A, on iTunes, or the bonusroll.gg podcast directory, or even in Discord, which you can join by going to thrallsballs.com. Feel free to also send us an email, thrallsballspodcast@gmail.com. But beyond that, we're out of here. Bye. We love you guys. Be good.
Happy Mother's Day to all the mother swingers!